From an engaging classroom activity to a sports break inside the gym to a fun Friday field trip to Knott's Berry Farm, Family Promise of the South Bay is giving roughly 30 kids a summer to remember.
Our kids are coming from families that are experiencing homelessness, or they might also be from families that are just low income.
Primarily, we provide shelter for families that are experiencing homelessness. Since that inception time, we've grown to also provide prevention and diversion services for families that are at risk of becoming homeless. And then right now we're having our summer camp for kids, and so we're helping with some of that learning gap that happens not only in the summer, but when you're displaced or dealing with traumatic events. Sometimes you fall behind in school or you can't come up to school every day, and so we're trying to help with that gap as well.
This is the first year for this summer camp. The nonprofit wanted to make sure that these kids have a safe and fun place to learn, especially with the challenges brought on by this pandemic.
During COVID, one of the things we realized was while the schools may be providing laptops or tablets, you can't really do school in a car very well. And when you don't have internet, you can't go on Zoom.
On-site helpers guide the kids through online learning, and volunteers like Jill Foster think outside the box to keep them entertained.
I went to the Torrance Library and got all the books I could find that had to do with a garden or that took place in a garden. So after we do our gardening, I usually read them a story.
Jill has been helping out since the organization began in 2015 and says it's been a real gift to interact with these children.
There are a lot of families that are one paycheck away from homelessness. These are great families with great kids that are just in a really bad place. So Family Promise of the South Bay does a great job helping them get on their feet again.
Executive Director Andrew Nishimoto says the pandemic led to lots of changes.
COVID hit and we had to move our shelter on site, so then all of our staff was doing everything, providing the meals and the case management and the social support and everything.
He also notes that during the past year and a half, they've almost tripled the number of families they can serve. Nishimoto is a former pastor who spent years helping the less fortunate. He says one of the biggest challenges with homelessness is that it's often a hidden issue due to shame and stigma.
Homelessness has a ton of different faces, and a lot of it is unseen. My kids go to a public school, and they're sitting next to kids that are homeless. They just don't know it. They go to school, they come home, they go take a shower down at the beach, right? And then they'll sleep in their car and then go to school the next day.
Nishimoto says his biggest goal now is to break the cycle of homelessness, starting with these kids.
But every time I see a kid walk through the door with a family, it reminds me it's not their fault. And a lot of times it's not the parents' fault either, but really the kids had no choice. They're the ones that keep me coming in every day to find those unique solutions for their families so that they can go to school, go to college, get a job, all the things that many of us take for granted.
Samantha Duran says the young students inspire her too.
They are kids that just show so much resilience, and I think more often than not, they are the ones that are teaching me rather than me being a teacher to them. And I think daily I go home just humbled at just their stories that they have gone through and their willingness and vulnerability to share those with me and invite me into their lives.
She's glad they have a space like this to just be kids and hopes they can walk away from summer camp with these lasting reminders.
Just being more confident in themselves and knowing that they are so extremely loved and cared for and seen, and that they have such a specific purpose in this world, and that they would be able to take everything that they've learned throughout this camp and just be able to be a light and know that they are cared for.
Family Promise of the South Bay provides trainings for those wanting to learn more. They also have opportunities for community members to get involved and help. Just log on to familypromiseosb.org. I'm Christine Lee with Torrance Citi Cable.